if you just want to maybe walk us through how you're preparing for the doubleheader this weekend at Michigan and your mindset heading in.
Yeah, for us, these next three. Well, I mean, the next three are important too, but the next 6, I'd say, before the playoffs start, it's very important that we manage everything to the best of our ability. So we got to run good, but we can't afford to make costly mistakes that take us out of the race. So we just have to be very thoughtful with every single move we make on the racetrack, every strategy call. It has to be with purpose, because every single point matters immensely right now, and it will continue to matter as these races wind down to the cutoff.
All right, well, we are going to open up the floor for questions from the media for Tyler. As a friendly reminder, if you do have a question, click the participants tab and raise your hand, or you can send me a chat and I will get to you. So let's kick it off with Bob Pockrass. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, Tyler, does the choose rule benefit you maybe more than others, since you like the high side and maybe might be willing to try it a little bit more at certain tracks?
I don't know if it actually does benefit me, because the people that will want to start on the top lane will start up there. So where I've been able to take advantage of it at times is somebody that's not necessarily going to push the issue at some of these racetracks that lines up on the outside. I know you can take advantage of that. So I don't know how much it truly changes it. It might make the restarts a little bit more difficult for me to gain the positions that I've been able to gain before. But, maybe not. We'll see. So it's a rule that everyone was kind of on board for and really kind of pushing for, with how the racing has kind of been with these low horsepower cars. The top is just so dominant on restarts, and getting to someone's right recorder panel is pretty much end game for the car on the inside. So I'm glad we're changing it. It'll probably be a little confusing a few times at first, and especially the further you are back within the field, it gets more and more challenging to count the cars and who's going where. But it'll be a fun new challenge. Me and my spotter Derek Nealand had fun with it at Bristol, even though we didn't have a good run there. But I think it's going to be good for our racing, and it'll make it more interesting too.
Did you have much? Do you have much experience with it? Can't remember whether you would have had a lot of it at dirt late models.
We didn't really have any of that in dirt late model racing. We had a very similar restart setting, or restarts would be set a very similar way to how the Cup Series is, except it's the lead car has his own lane to himself, so he could kind of use both lanes to fire and get a better launch than the rest of the field. So never really done anything like this before that I can remember, but we're still going around the same racetracks. The situations once they're set will be very similar to what they already are, but you just got to make one more decision in the race car as a driver and as a team. So that'll be a new challenge.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet, Bob.
All right, we're going to take our next question from Daniel McFadden. Go ahead, Daniel.
Hey, Tyler, how are you doing?
Good, Daniel. How are you?
I'm good. This week we've seen a lot of dominoes fall when it came to silly season and things, either getting their plans put in place for next year or finding out they don't have a job for next year. I'm just curious, can you say what your status is at this point with RCR in regards to 2021, and also just from your viewpoint, what does the landscape look out there for a young driver like you?
Well, it's definitely always concerning, regardless of age, when you're 24 years old and you're getting replaced in the Cup Series or in any kind of racing. But it's part of it. It's unfortunate, but that's the world we live in. There's always comers and goers, and there's always somebody coming up through the ranks that is going to have a shot in something. So I'm glad I know where I'm going to be next year. I'm going to be with RCR. So not necessarily allowing the pressure to come off by any means. We still want to make the playoffs. We still want to run really good this year. We want to beat Cole and Christopher in the Rookie of the Year battle, along with John Hunter. So and the other drivers that are competing. So it's not going to take away my aggression knowing that for the first time in a while, I guess, in my racing career since the BKR days, if you will, knowing that I'm going to be in the same place for multiple years is nice.
All right. Well, do we have any other last questions for Tyler? Okay, we'll take one from Steven Toronto. Go ahead, Steven.
Tyler, I'm just curious, in preparation for the race at the Daytona road course, iRacing actually released the road course track with the new chicane coming off of what would be the oval turn 4. I'm just curious, have you gotten the opportunity to take some laps there yet? And is that really going to be the only way that drivers prepare for the road course before taking their first laps on it in real life?
Yeah. Unless, you're Alex Lebain, you got to get a couple laps before you got busted. But yeah, that's pretty much all you're really going to have to go off of is iRacing or, simulation. For me through Chevrolet, the simulators that they have, we've been able to use. And for a guy like me that's never made a lap around the Daytona road course, I have no idea what I'm getting into for the most part. Even with how the cup cars brake and race on a road course themselves. Can you guys hear that? Is it bothering you?
I
Okay,
very vaguely can, but not.
Okay.
Not
If you need me to mute it, let me know. Always seems to go off the worst times. But basically what I was saying is it is tough because I have no background in a cup car on a road course. And from my understanding, the brakes are a little bit better. Some things are a little bit different, more or better for the drivers, and you can be more aggressive, I think. So I've got nothing to go off of really other than help from AJ Allmendinger, who helped me a lot last year in the Xfinity stuff. He's worked with Randall Burnett in the past and helped me get up to speed, especially who's running the Colleague cars for them. So AJ's been a big help through this. He has a lot of experience there. I have other good friends, Austin Cindric, other drivers that have ran this course in the past that I know well too, that I've been able to bounce some ideas off of too.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
All right. We'll take our next question from Terry with WNDB. Go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, coming to Daytona over the next few weeks, how are you prepping for the heat? I mean, the heat in August is totally different than it is any other time of year here. It's 100% humidity, 100 degrees, and you can't escape from it.
Yeah, it's I think this year and the way we've gone about making up these races has kind of been in a way conditioning us for that, but at the same time it could be wearing us down and that one last extremely hot race that we have this year. So none of us really know what to expect, but like you said, it's going to be extremely hot, and you don't want to spare any expense or method or time putting into hydration. It's going to be extremely important for that race because you just don't know how taxing it's going to be on you, on your car, anything, and you have to be on your toes at all times, especially on a road course. And you can't afford to make mistakes. You get fatigued, you wheel hop once, your day's done, or you significantly damage your car. And like I mentioned earlier, every point matters, every spot matters. So going into that race, we just got to really be on our game and make sure that don't have too many adult beverages at dinner with the lady throughout the week or whatever it is. Just really focus on hydrating and cutting out the fun beverages that you normally have at dinner.
Did you ever think that you would be competing for a place in the chase against Jimmy Johnson when you started this year?
I thought we had the capabilities of making the playoffs, but I really didn't foresee Jimmy having the bad luck, the struggles that he's had. The speed's definitely been there. We've seen it at times, but unfortunately, you have to be able to capitalize when you do have it. And unfortunately for him and his team, he hasn't. And then he missed the race at Indy. So he's had the deck stacked against him for sure this year. I thought we'd be battling to get into the playoffs, but I didn't think it'd be against him for sure.
Well, thanks. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, Tyler, that looks like that's all we have for you today. So good luck this weekend. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you back here for one of the post-race Zooms.
All righty. Thank you, everyone, very much. Appreciate it. Have a good day.